Let me tell you a story. So one day my mama was like,
Danielle, you should try online dating.
Okay. I ended up getting on Tinder. I started talking to this one guy. We ended up exchanging numbers. We're still trying to get to know each other. He said, can we spice this conversation up? I'm sorry? He sent me a picture of his pickle.
No.
No.
She wasn't ready.
I don't have time for that, girl. Got an attitude. All right, let's get into the look. As you can see, my eyebrows are partially done. I'm just taking some LA Girl Pro Conceal with an angle brush from Ulta, and I am sculpting out that brow with an angle brush from Sephora, and I dipped that brush into LA Girl Pro Conceal. And remember what I told you before, make sure that when you're doing your brows, you are drawing just above and below the hairline. So when it comes time to clean up, it'll be a little bit more precise and you will have room to clean that brow. You want to make it as neat as possible. Now I'm going in on the top of that brow and slowly sculpting that brow out. Now I don't know about you ladies, but I have to be careful how I breathe, how I move. I cannot get distracted when I am sculpting out the top of that brow. It's stressful, girl. So when I'm doing my brow, especially when I'm sculpting the top, I try to do it in sections. So as you can see, I did the tip of the brow first, then I went into the arch of the brow. Now I'm going towards the front of the brow, just to line that up a little bit more. And a lot of times I will flip my brush upside down just so I can line everything correctly. Sculpt those brows, girl. Now we're using Anastasia Eyeshadow Primer, and I am patting that primer into my eyelid and I'm blending it towards the brow bone. Going in with this Honey ColourPop palette, and I'm using the color Buzzkill as my transitional shade. I'm also using a Sephora blending brush, and I'm going just above the crease and right below the brow bone, going from the front of the eyelid to the back of the eyelid, doing circular soft motions. And now I'm going in with the color Beehive, doing the same thing just to build on that a little bit more. Dipping my brush into this yellow of this Juvia's Place Zulu palette, I'm continuing to build on that crease and just packing that color into my crease. Again, using circular motions, going from the front of the lid to the back of the lid, and build on that color. And I am using another coat of that Anastasia Eyeshadow Primer, just so the color can pop a little bit more. And I'm going into the box of crayons eyeshadow palettes, and I'm going into that yellow, packing that color onto my eyelid. Sometimes it's really hard for the color yellow to show up, especially on brown and dark tone girls. So definitely having a good primer helps that color to pop. And I'm flipping between brushes just to make sure that the crease and everything else is nicely blended. Going in with this NYX glitter primer. I love this stuff, and I am dousing that onto my lid. It is a translucent, so you don't have to worry about it showing up after you have your eyeshadow on. And I'm using this glitter from NYX as well. And it's like a clear glitter. And you really can't see it, but it makes the eyeshadow pop. And I'm just putting that all over my lid. Of course, I have to use my handy dandy tape. Don't play with me, girl. Going in with this Still Stay All Day waterproof eyeliner. And I am lining my eyes. And I'm starting at the top of that wing, working my way down to meet the other part of that liner. Let's remove that tape, girl. Bam. Now it's time for lashes. I got these from Ulta. These are just some Ardell mink lashes. Using my Duo Lash Glue, I am popping those bad boys on. Starting in the middle. And then I do each end. A great makeup tip, especially when you're using lashes, is when you're putting the glue onto your lashes, make sure that the glue is tacky, because you don't want to put the glue on and then stick them straight onto your lashes, because the lash will travel and it will not stay. That is how your lashes lift and they look sloppy. Now I'm using Better Than Sex Mascara from Too Faced, and I am blending my real lashes into my fake lashes. Let's get into this face, girl, using Studio Perfect Photo 11 Primer from NYX. And I'm rubbing that into my skin, and it feels so good, girl. That's right, Danny. Shoot. Using I Am Magic foundation from Juvia's Place. I am in the color Tanzania, number 205. So as you can see, I always put the product from the container onto my skin. I never put it on a brush first, only because a lot of times you can lose the product when you're doing that. So that's how I feel like I keep my product more. I could be wrong or whatever, but that's just my theory. Girl, have your own theory, whatever. And to buff that into my skin, I am using Morphe E31 brush. This is my favorite foundation brush. I have a couple, but this is my favorite, girl. I like this one or whatever. That's my I'm tired of blending face. Now going in with Maybelline foundation stick to contour. This is in the shade Espresso. And I am going around the perimeter of my face, under my jaw, under my chin. And for my nose, I'm using a darker tone from Black Opal. And to highlight, I'm using Can't Stop, Won't Stop from NYX Cosmetics. Now, some common mistakes I see when ladies are doing their highlight is the highlighter is too bright for your skin tone. So try to take it down a little bit, ladies. Just try to get a shade, a few shades lighter than your skin tone or the foundation color that you're using. And let's all walk around here looking normal and not like cats. So as you can see, I am blending out that highlight and that contour using a beauty blender. And this is another part that does require patience, because you want to blend everything in so that you cannot see where your highlight starts and your contour begins. You don't want to see any harsh lines. So what I did was went back in with my beauty blender off camera and just made sure that certain areas were blended out. and fade it properly, because you don't want to walk around here like you got a puzzle on your face. So now I'm using a wide oval brush from Morphe, going from the bottom of the brow to the tip of the nose and just blending in that contour. And to set the highlights, I am using Can't Stop, Won't Stop setting powder from NYX Cosmetics, and I'm just going right under my eyes. And that's really the only place where I really set my highlight, because I'm not an oily person and a lot of areas on my face don't really crease as of the moment. So I let that sit for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then I just softly dust it off. Now I'm going in with the darkest color in the Juvia's Place Dose palette, and I'm using this color to set my contour. Going back into the crayon case using the color Plum, and I am smoking out that bottom lash line. Then I go in with some mascara to pull out those bottom lashes. Next, I'm using the Tribe highlighter from Juvia's Place. This is in volume 2. And I highlight right there on the cheek. And look at that. Look at that highlight. Girl, you better do that. The tip of the nose and the arch of the nose. And let me get those in the corners of my eyes. And right there on the Cupid's bow. So for the lips, I decided to keep them just a little bit neutral. So I'm going in with Dose of Colors Chocolate Wasted, and I'm outlining my lips with that. Then I went in to ombre my lips with a color from Jeffree Star's Glitter Collection, and I am using an eyeshadow brush just to blend out those lips, just so you can see the ombre in the lip. And lastly, I'm going in with MAC Cosmetics Prep and Prime Setting Spray, and I am misting that face to blend this whole look together. And I think that's a wrap, folks. And thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some tips, some things that you can try, some things that you can learn. If you want to see me do new things or try something different, be sure to contact me via social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. But until then, holla at your girl. Mwah.